Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to the second video in my new Crusader Kings 2 series where I'm going to be trying to form the Empire of Britannia. It might take a little while. We're still waiting for enough people who like us to vote on a law change. We're trying to go up to low centralisation, which will allow me to have a slightly larger domain. We've still got quite a few opponents to it at the moment. I don't really have enough money to throw at these people. It would be good if we could get some people to come on side, but I don't think it's going to happen for a while. You like us. I'm surprised that you're not voting for it. That's a little bit strange, but oh well, we'll leave them going. I guess what we could do as well, one thing we haven't looked at yet, is we could go and throw out some honorary titles to members of our court. So you can be Master of the Horse, you can be Master of the Hunt. There's no reason not to throw these out. Award honorary title, you can be the High Almoner. Our Spy Master, you can be the autosave. You can be the Cupbearer. So it just helps to get a little bit of extra reputation with some of these guys. We still haven't had a child yet. We are 34 years old. Our wife is 25. Now, she actually wants to have a daughter. We want to have a son, but it doesn't matter because both of those traits give you the plus 25 bonus to fertility. So the fact that she wants to have a daughter means that she will have the increased fertility. There is more chance that we will actually have a daughter there. Just notice that the flag for the county of Leicester is actually the flag of the House of Beaumont, not the actual flag of Leicester County itself, which is a little bit weird. Mission to Leicester has so far been a success. During my visit to the court, the bishop managed to improve relations again. What we should probably do is actually move him down and go and that kind of weird mechanic where he improves relations with himself. Then we'll get him down to Rome. Mayor Alfred is no longer the steward, which is a little bit of a pain, so we have an open council position. Is that the same guy that we had? I'm not sure if it was. Alfred? Yeah. Not sure why he disappeared there, but we'll go and put you back into Lincoln because it still has the highest tax base. What we will start to do, of course, we will build some buildings in Leicester, which will increase the tax base there. And hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to become the Duke of... Well, we're already the Duke of Mercia, but we'll have the counties of Warwickshire and Worcestershire just so that we control the holdings here. And also in Leicester, there's room to build another couple of castles, which we'll do at some point. So a group of hedge knights have come to visit Mercia. Raedwald has met with them and asked for my reply. I assume that Raedwald is my marshal. No? My chancellor. Okay. So we can welcome them with a lavish feast. It will cost us 8 gold, but we'll gain 10 prestige, and we'll gain the trait generous, which gives us some extra diplomacy, some extra vassal opinion. We can welcome them reluctantly. We'd lose less gold, we'd only gain 1 prestige, or we can tell them to bog off and upset everybody. Well, I'm more than happy to spend 8 gold to get the generous trait, and that might actually improve people's opinion of us, and that could help with the law, though it's still only on 6 of 16, which is a real pain. I'd hate to go and have to kick anybody around. But the hedge knights have participated in a minor tournament together with our knights in Leicester. Sadly, one of those landless vagabonds has been severely injured. So we can either pay 2 gold again for some medication and send them on their way. We'd gain some piety. Or we can allow them to stay in the castle while they recover. Now, we'd lose prestige and gain piety for doing that, but we would gain the trait just. And that gives us some stewardship, some learning, some more vassal opinion. I think it's better to do that. I don't mind losing 5 prestige. The Lords of Mercia have approved the institution of the low centralisation law. So there you go. It did take a little while for it to go through. But as you can see now, we've got the gregarious and we've got the just traits, and it certainly improved relations with us. You'll probably find if we look at our vassals now, yeah, all of those vassals that were down in like the 2s are all starting to creep up. Looks like we need to move over to the county of Bedford and improve relations with this guy, although both of them are pretty much 50% of our maximum forces. So that's good. It now means that we have, in fact, we've now got our domain size up to 4 because it did tick up to 3. I think it ticked up to 3 because the just gave us some more stewardship, or it may have been from the Gregarious that gave us the diplomacy. Either way, we can actually now have a domain size of 4, so I don't intend to change anything there. So everything is going well. So what we need to start doing is thinking about who we could potentially pick off. It's worth having a look at people, like Gloucester here, for example. Gloucester looks like it is a single province. If we go ahead and take a look at this guy, we'll look at his allies. He doesn't have any. That is very, very nice. If we go and have a look at his men, his top levy is 559. Looks like we've got a new pope. So his top levy is 559 men. It's actually just dropped significantly there to 486. And his top levy currently is 391. If we go ahead and look at our own, we can see that our current top levy is like 1,500 and something. So 1,500 men, we can quite easily beat him. Again, we've got a event that increases the relationship between us and our wife, which is fantastic. So what I'm going to do just for the time being is I'm going to grab my Chancellor, who has only a 4.5% chance yearly to fabricate claims, which is really, really bad. Local reinforcements have increased. Do we have a better Chancellor that we could appoint? No, we do not. But I am going to move you just in case into Gloucester, in the hope that you can fabricate a claim, and then we can go down there and start picking on people. In fact, do you have an heir? You do have an heir. I was just having a look if it was possible that we could start killing some people off in the hope that we could possibly usurp something, but I think we might have to wait on that a little bit. So unfortunately, this is one of the things, because you have to have a CB in order to attack somebody in Crusader Kings 2. And if you have a Chancellor that's not all that good, sometimes it can take an awfully long time to fabricate a claim. We still need to get a son as soon as possible. We're 35 years old. We're not actually getting any younger. There we go. As we say, fate smiles upon me. My wife is pregnant. Gain 5 prestige. Doesn't mean to say it's going to be a boy, though. It could still be a girl. We have 18 diplomacy, which is really nice. Our state diplomacy is actually 32, which is a really, really good number to have this early on in the game. So that is all good. Now, we haven't tried improving any relations with the Pope yet. We won't be doing that for a while. Does the Pope like us at all? Not especially. I mean, we could actually go in and try and improve relations with him. We will do that, of course. We're just trying to get our chaplain to improve relations with himself. How much do you like me, is the question. 89, actually, is not too bad. I bet, are you actually paying me any money? Can't actually tell from that, but short reign, yeah, because we haven't really been the king for 10 years. You do need to rule for 10 years before you can change succession law, but in order to change succession law, you need to have all of your vassals of count level or higher have to have a positive opinion of you, so it can sometimes be a little bit difficult to do, but it's certainly not impossible. We're getting into November time. We could go ahead and have another feast. There's no reason why not to. I think sometimes at the beginning of the game, when you don't have an awful lot else to do, sometimes it's worth just going through feasts and some affairs, just because, yeah, it does cost you a little bit of money, but you can increase things as you go on. So no feast is complete without boar meat. Who will get the prestigious task of hunting and slaying the boars needed for the feast? So we can send out our marshal, and he will gain 10 prestige. His opinion of us changes by 25. There's an 80% chance that nothing will happen. There's a 10% chance he will gain 1 marshal. No, that we will gain 1 marshal, I think that is. 7% chance that he will become wounded. 2% chance that he will become maimed. And 1% chance that he will die. If I hunt the boar myself, it's pretty much the same thing, except I've got the chance of becoming wounded, or we can force the peasants to hunt. We'll send out the marshal. Hopefully he survives. So again, we have the option for the food. We're just going to spend the 10 gold because we're not too bothered about getting the prestige. We'll invite the people. This time it looks like a slightly smaller list. No, there are still 10 people there. We'll see how many of them refuse flat out to attend this time around. Guests have finally arrived. It looks like nobody refused to come. So all of my vassals were invited and they all turned up. So that is quite nice. And we are making a little bit of gold. We still, of course, need to get an heir because at the moment, if we die, it's game over. A pretty wench is throwing herself at us. I can't resist her. 45 chance that we would gain the trait Lustful. Now, if we gain the trait Lustful, we would lose some monthly piety, but it would increase our intrigue and it would increase our fertility. But it does decrease the Christian church opinion. Or we can get 45% of becoming chaste, which would give us minus 15% fertility. Now, we don't really want that to happen because, to be honest, what we're trying to do is have an heir. So we're actually going to go with this one. It might be that nothing happens anyway. He has gained the Lustful trait. The churches won't like us as much, but that's not all that important. So I've made sure the most beautiful lady would be my dinner partner, and during the feast I kept refilling both our wine glasses. My charm and my winning smile made it impossible for her to stay unresponsive. It didn't take long until she looked at me with more than interest in her eyes. So I like to flirt, but I wouldn't do anything more than that, and we'd lose 5 prestige. Or I'd like to show you the castle, especially my bedchamber. So we've got the potential here that she could end up becoming a lover, and that does mean that you can end up having children with a lover who you can eventually legitimize. So it is a good way to potentially secure an heir. I don't think we need to worry about doing that right now, so I'm going to say no. We've gained the Bishop of Lincoln. His opinion of us changes by 100, and we've become great friends. That is fantastic. However, the Mayor of... Where are you, the Mayor of? The Mayor of Nottingham refused more wine, and insulting gesture means he does not appreciate my hospitality. So my opinion of him changes by minus 20. Few people not satisfied with the food. So even though everybody turned up, it looks like some of them turned up just to be arseholes. We have a new heir. Unfortunately, it is a... it is a female this time. Wolfram Unstable's daughter. So... the next one will probably be, if we get a boy, it'll be Unstableson, which is quite funny because we are actually part of our dynasty, which is actually the Voltage dynasty, but it's weird the way it works. Obviously, because we didn't have a boy, we still keep that ambition, which still means we've got the higher fertility, but we've also got the Lustful, which increases fertility as well. So there's a very, very good chance there that things are going to work out for us. There's the acrobats again, 10 prestige. Bishop Godwine's plate was almost full. Who was that one? You're the Bishop of Lincoln. Well, you're already like best buds for life anyway. Gain 10 prestige and everyone gains plus 10 approval of us, which is really, really nice. Still don't think we have anywhere that we can attack at the moment because we don't have any CBs against anybody, which is a little bit disappointing. Righteous imprisonment. Can imprison the following subjects without incurring tyranny. Earl Cuthbert of Bedford. Okay, so why can we imprison you? 51% chance of success based on relative state intrigue. So what have you done? Why can we arrest you? There must be a reason. Doesn't have a faction. No, since we have evidence that he is the leader of a plot. Well, let's go actually have a look at the plots. Who is he plotting against? He's actually plotting against the Earl of Warwick. What we could do is we could just go to him and just go end plot. And he probably will. Because they're two of my biggest vassals and I could really do without them sort of attacking each other. And he's agreed that he doesn't want to get involved with that. Now we could have a look and see if we can do any plots ourselves. Indeed we can. Now, we could try and revoke some counties. They're the only plots that we have. Of course, we could decide that we want to go in and assassinate some people, but there isn't really a lot of point. I'd like eventually to take the county of Warwick and Worcestershire. Wouldn't be too bad. However, at the moment, I don't really have the domain limit to do both of that. We'd have to give up Northampton or something like that. But we certainly could go ahead and try and take one of these two. If we just have a look at them, see which one has the sort of higher tax base. So base tax 6, tax 6.49. Base tax 6, that's 3.47. So Worcester would actually be the better one to get right now. So we could try and plot to do that. Not sure if we'd actually manage it. So if we plot to revoke the county of Worcester. Where does it tell us? Is it going to give me the pop-up? We might be able to do that, actually. The bishops managed to... Oh, no, hang on. Good news, mission to Kent. During my visit, the bishop filled his ears with poisonous slander and evil rumours about his spiritual leader. Oh, so it looks like you're actually ruining his reputation with the Pope, so that he's more friendly with me. That's really weird. Okay, let's go ahead and try and auto-invite people to this plot, because apparently there's quite a lot of people that are willing to do it, so we'll try that. Wife is pregnant again, which is very, very good. Might be time now to move our chaplain down to... to Rome and try and sort things out down there. Get friendly with the Pope, because the Pope's always loaded and we can get money off him. New important decisions are available. What do we have? Revoke the County of Worcester. Looks like we can actually do it. Put the plot into motion by sending an ultimatum to the Earl of Warwick. Now, he would receive the letter. Might give us a little bit of negativity, but there's a lot of people willing to get on that. Let's go ahead and try it. He may well just raise his armies, and then we'll have to get into a little bit of a fight. Your shameful attempt at blackmail has not succeeded. No matter how many corrupted souls you have enticed to help carry out your plan, I will not give in without a fight. What is rightfully mine is mine. Signed, Earl Baronoth of Warwick. So we can either go to war, or we can say, nah. But if we did that, we'd lose a lot of prestige. So, we're going to be going to war. So, we'll hit the button there. King Unstable of Mercia has declared King Unstable of Mercia's war to revoke Worcester from the Earl of Warwick. Okie dokie, we are paused. Let's just bring the game speed right down just to make this easier. So what we're going to have to do here is we should now be able to fight these guys. We can do, because we are at war with them. So first thing we need to do is raise up all of our vassals. We're going to go into military. We're going to raise our personal levies, and we're also going to raise the levies of our vassals, which isn't much, I grant you. We're going to get them all together in Leicester. And we'll actually go up to speed 2, because it does take them a little while to move around. They're not exactly fast. So they have 744 troops. Looks like he's going to try and move into Bedford. Hopefully these guys can get out before he gets in. They may not, though. Yeah, they have got out. That is fine. So we're going to try and move all of our troops together. And we should hopefully have the bigger army. Looks like he's trying to siege out Oxford. That is fine. Now, we could instantly just go and try and smash his army, which we probably will, or we could just go and try and siege out the provinces there. Now, Worcester's the war goal, which is why it's got the orange flashing line around it. We're actually going to go up to top speed. Let's group all these guys together, and we're going to cut through Warwick. We are going to try and engage them. We do have a leader on all 3 of our flanks. We're not actually at full morale, so I think what we're going to do is we will just sit here in Warwick and we can try and siege that out. But on the plus side, he's also trying to siege out my my holding as well. And his siege may end up going faster than mine. Obviously, this is an offensive war. We started it, technically. So our vassals aren't too happy that their levies are raised. His siege looks like it's definitely going much faster than mine. So do I just want to run in there and attack? Or are we going to win this siege first? What's Oxford like? Yeah, that's going down by 4.6% every 12 days. This is going down by 6.3% every 12 days. So we should actually win our siege before he wins his. So we'll try and siege out Warwickshire. And then we'll go ahead and jump on that army if we can. So there's not a huge deal of difference in it, but it is going down by just a couple of percent per day. I've already obviously invested a fair few days into the siege, so I don't want to move out of that that province now. We'll go ahead and finish the siege anyway. Now, it's not going to make a massive deal of difference to us, because this land was technically ours anyway, and we have Wulfmer Unstableson. Fantastic. So we've filled our ambition to have a son. We can now pick another ambition. What options do we have? Amass wealth, become a paragon of virtue, or become the King of England? Well, the King of England I definitely think is going to be on the cards. So the moment that this siege finishes over here, we will go down and jump on their army. Hopefully get there before they win their siege there. As I was saying, those 2 counties were actually part of my lands anyway, so I'm not really gaining anything, but I do want to try and control one of those directly if I can. Got some extra levy reinforcements there. We should get the tick. We have indeed. We've paused. We might not get there in time, though. They may still win the siege. It is a possibility. They haven't won the siege yet. Oh, okay. What have we got here, then? To the most illustrious king unstable, the good boroughs of Cambridge are barely able to pay their taxes. Our coffers are empty. I humbly ask that you lower the taxes for your cities. So we can either say an absurd request and upset a few people for a few years, or we can say very well and change, reduce the down to minimal city taxes, and they would like us for an extra 40 for 60 months, or because we have quite high diplomacy skill, we can flatter and soothe him and he just goes away. So let's go ahead and do that. So the fight is going on. It looks like we've managed to trash 2 of their flanks already. We're going to have the flanking bonus now, so that's going to help really nicely. We didn't manage to completely decimate their army, but we can move into Worcester here. We've already got 53% war score. He's actually moved back into there. I thought he was going into Worcester. I didn't realise he was going back into Warwickshire. We'll see if we can completely eliminate that army. We have done. It's only 76% war score, but we'll go into Worcester and siege that out. The ancient Lombard kingdom is established in Italy after a long history of migration originating in northern Europe. Along the way, the Lombards themselves have changed, both influencing and becoming influenced by the regions they have settled. Now it's finally come to pass that the Lombard lands in Italy no longer have a Lombard ruler, and this effectively spells out the name, the end of the name of the kingdom of the Lombards. We shall henceforth speak of the kingdom of Italy, but the Lombard heritage shall live on. So that probably means that, Charlemagne has now taken over. He was quick. He's already taken over Middle Francia and Lombard. He'll probably go for Asturias next. After that, he will probably go for Bavaria or possibly even Saxony. So we should be able to win this over here. During a mission to try and fabricate a claim on a title in Gloucester, my Chancellor has been murdered. How terrible. So our Chancellor's actually been killed while he was trying to fabricate a claim. Oh well, maybe we can get a better one. You'll do, I suppose. You're leading troops. Let's not have you doing that. And let's have you go and fabricate claims over here. We need to try and get some. It's a little bit disappointing when it takes so long to fabricate claims, but it needs doing. Let's go ahead and unpause. We are over the 20-minute mark. It would be nice if we could end this war before the end of the video, but I don't think we will. So I'm going to put a cut in there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are enjoying Crusader Kings 2, and I'll see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.